Let's take a look at the lesson recipes. It says if you mix the peppermint candy canes and chocolate sandwich cookies crushed together, how many pints will there be in all? Express answers as a simplified fraction. Well, I can see that the chocolate sandwich cookies that are crushed are 1/4 of a pint, and the peppermint candy canes are 1/2 of a pint. So if the chocolate sandwich cookies are 1/4 and the peppermint candy canes are 1/2, I know we're going to add them together because they said how many pints will there be in all. But I see a problem with trying to add 1/4 and 1/2 together. The denominators, the numbers on bottom, are not the same. In order to add straight across, they need to be the same. So let's change one of these fractions. So we have 1/4 and 1/2. We need the denominator to be the same for both of these numbers. I cannot divide 1/4 by anything because the 1 is already a 1, and we cannot reduce that anymore. So I will need to multiply 1/2 by 2/2. I need to multiply the top and bottom by the same number, in this case 2 and 2. And the reason this works is because 2/2 is the same as 1 whole. It's 2 halves. So if I were to draw 2 halves, that is 1 whole. So multiplying any number or fraction by 1 will keep the number the same, but in this case with fractions, it will just show it as a different form of the fraction. So here we have 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Because 1 times 2 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4, which makes sense. If we look over here where I drew the 2 halves, that is also, if we have 1/2, that is also the same as 2/4. All right. So here we have 2/4. Now we have 1/4 plus 1/2, or 1/4 plus 2/4, because 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So on this side, I will write that 1/4 plus 2/4. And if we add straight across, that is 3/4, because our fourths stay the same. 3/4 is our final answer. If you mix the pearl tapioca and white sugar together, how many cups will there be in all? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So they said the pearl tapioca, which is 1 2/3 cup, and the white sugar, which is 2 3/4 cup. Well, if we add 2 3/4 plus 1 2/3, again, those denominators are not the same. So we need to change one of these. In this case, we're going to need to change both. So 3/4 and 2/3, we need the denominators to be the same. So I will need to multiply the top and bottom of this number by 3 because I can tell the common denominator will be 12. So 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 9/12. Now here I will need to multiply the top and bottom by 4 so that our denominator is 12. 8/12. All right. Here we have 2 9/12 plus 1 8/12. So I'm going to clear this page and rewrite that. 2 9/12 plus 1 8/12. So 2 9/12 plus 1 8/12. Let's add our fractions together. 9 plus 8 is 17, so that is 17/12. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. Well, 17/12 is an improper fraction because 12/12 would be 1 whole. So I know that 17/12 would be 1 whole and then we would have 5/12 left over. So we need to add 1 and 5/12 to 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So that would be 4 and 5/12. So our final answer is 4 and 5/12 cup. If you mix the brown sugar and butter together, how many cups will there be in all? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So the brown sugar is 2 cups, and the butter is 6 cups. So we just need to add 2 plus 6. What is 2 more than 6? 8. So the answer is 8 cups. If you mix the peanut butter and sugar together, how many cups will there be in all? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So we're going to mix the peanut butter, which is 2 1/4 cup, and the sugar, which is 3 cups. So if we write 2 1/4 plus 3, we add the fractions together. 1/4 plus nothing is 1/4. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 1/4. If you mix the brown sugar and white corn syrup together, how many cups will there be in all? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So the brown sugar is 6 cups, and the white corn syrup is 1/2 cup. So if we have 6 plus 1/2, we would write our 1/2 over here, because it is like 0 and 1/2. So 0 plus 1/2 is 1/2. 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 1/2. If you mix the flour and sugar together, how many cups will there be in all? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So the flour is 2 2/3 cup, and the sugar is 1/2 cup. So we know 2 2/3 cup for the flour and 1/2 cup for the sugar. Well, again, we cannot add these fractions together because their denominators are not the same. We will need to change each of these. So the common denominator for these would be 6. We need to make them both have 6 as their denominator. So 2 times 2 and 3 times 2. So 4/6. So this all together would be 2 4/6. Then we need to multiply the top and bottom of this one by 3 so that our denominator is 6. 3/6. So now we have 2 4/6 plus 3/6. So let's write that. 2 4/6 plus 3/6. 4 plus 3 is 7, so we have 7/6, and that is 2 7/6. But now I can see that 7/6 is equal to 1 whole, because 6/6 is 1 whole, and then there would be 1 left because there's 7/6, so that is 1 1/6. And we need to add that to our 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and then we have our 1/6 left over, so it's 3 1/6, which is right here. How many more cups of peanut butter than sugar are needed? Express your answers as a simplified fraction. So how many more cups of peanut butter? Let's see, peanut butter is 2 cups, and sugar is 3/4 cup. Well, I see that peanut butter is 2 cups, and I could write it as 2 cups. But I also, since I know I'm going to need to take away 3/4 cup, and there is no fourths in this problem right now, we can break apart this 2. We could say that 2 is equal to 1 whole and 4/4. So if I were to break 2 into 1 whole and 4/4, because that is just like 1 plus 1, then I could subtract my 3/4. So now 4/4 minus 3/4 is 1/4. 1 minus 0 is 1. So 1 1/4. How many more cups of brown sugar than butter are needed? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So let's see, how many more cups of brown sugar than butter? Well, brown sugar is 5 1/2 and butter is 2 1/4. Let's see. So if we have 5 1/2 and we want to subtract 2 1/4, we need the denominators to be the same. So I could just change this fraction 1/2. I can multiply the top and bottom by 2 to make the denominators the same. So now this turns into 5 2/4. So now we have 5 2/4 minus 2 1/4. So let's write that over here. 5 2/4 minus 2 1/4. 2/4 minus 1/4 is 1/4. 5 minus 2 is 3. So our answer is 3 1/4. How many more cups of large egg whites than confectioner's sugar are needed? Express answers as a simplified fraction. Large egg whites, they say they need 3 cups. Confectioner's sugar, they say they need 2 1/2 cups. Well, 3 cups minus 2 1/2 cups. We could break apart our 3. We could say it is 2 2/2, because that would equal 3. So if we write 2 2/2, which is equal to 3, minus 2 1/2, 2/2 minus 1/2 is 1/2. 2 minus 2 is 0, so we can leave it blank. So our answer is 1/2. How many more cups of flour than sugar are needed? Express answers as a simplified fraction. So flour is 2 3/4 cup, and sugar is 2 1/2 cups. Well, 2 1/2 and 2 3/4. So we need to subtract 2 1/2 from 2 3/4. But right now, 1/2 and 3/4 are not sharing a common denominator. So let's make this 1/4 before we rewrite the problem. So we need to multiply the top and bottom by 2. So this would become 2 2/4. So now we can write it as 2 3/4 for the flour minus 2 2/4 for the sugar. So we have 3/4 minus 2/4 is 1/4. 2 minus 2 is 0. So our answer is just 1/4. Amazing work today.